Obsessive Compulsive. Hello. I suffer from obsessive compulsive disorder, which is an anxiety disorder in which people have unwanted and repeated thoughts, feelings, ideas, or behaviors. In other words, my life is a systematic pattern. But yesterday I experienced a flaw in my system. I awoke that morning in my lakeside home promptly at 6:45 a.m., as I do every morning. Before leaving my bedroom, I touched the doorknob 3 times. I had to. Needed to. On my way downstairs, I made sure not to step on the second to last step. I never touched that step. I just can't. I made my usual breakfast of toast, scrambled eggs, and black coffee. I never eat anything else in the morning. Just those 3. Turning my iPad on, I checked the local news headlines, like usual. But today, something was missing. I couldn't place my finger on it. Did I forget something? The strange feeling lingered with me all the way to my car. On my way out the front door, I made certain to lock my door, then unlock it, then lock it again. Driving to work, I couldn't help but feel like part of me was missing. What did I miss? How could I have possibly missed it? I hoped the feeling would go away while working. It didn't. It stayed with me for 12 whole hours. I left the office at around 6:45 p.m. and headed back home. About 25 minutes into my commute, I stopped in front of the red light at the intersection of Marbury and Westway. But as the light turned from red to green, I couldn't help but feel that strange sensation again. The only other person near me was a man driving behind me. He blared his horn for me to get going, but instead of accelerating, I just rolled my window and motioned him to go around me. He did. I dreadfully sat there in my car, still stopped at the intersection. Something was seriously wrong. What am I missing here? I touched everything in my car, hoping that it would spark my memory. I touched the dashboard, the leather seats, the emergency brake, and even the roof. It did nothing for me. My hands began to tremble as I drove away. This isn't right. I don't like this. Arriving home, I pulled my 1974 Mustang into the garage. I washed the car every weekday, but not on weekends. I only washed the front and the back, never the sides. No matter how dirty they get, I never wash the sides. I simply just can't. But something else seemed missing from my daily routine as I washed. No, not again. First the news, then the intersection, now this. Finishing up with the car, I jogged to the backyard. I opened up the tool shed. I felt yet another thing missing from my pattern. I screamed. This isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't right. I stumbled out of the shed and gazed onto the lake. It always seemed to calm me when my anxiety got out of control. But tonight, all I wanted to do was sleep. I needed to finish this day. The next morning, I woke up at 6:45 a.m., touched the doorknob 3 times, and made sure not to step on the second to last step on my way to the kitchen. I prepared my toast, scrambled eggs, and black coffee. Turned on the iPad and browsed the local news. It's still missing. I became aggravated. What is it I could be missing? I began to feel nauseous. Hurrying out the door in a vicious rage, I quickly locked the door, then unlocked it and locked it again. Then I drove off to work. I tend to get a lot of work done when I'm upset, strangely. So at least I felt some accomplishment when I left the office at 6:45 p.m. I drove fast on my way home. What am I missing? I approached the red light in Marbury and Westway. Come on, think! A man walking in the middle of the intersection on his way to the other side. Why can't I remember? The man's head spun as he noticed my Mustang coming straight for him at 85 miles per hour. I noticed him too. A wave of horror crossed over my face as I watched him dive to the other side. I swerved into the same direction. A loud clunk was heard as I crushed the man underneath my vehicle. Oh God. Jumping out of the car, I hesitated on what to do. He lay there writhing in agony, making horrendous, guttural wails. I popped open the trunk of my Mustang, lifted the screaming man, and headed him in. In agony, entering my garage, I made sure to wash the blood off the front and rear of my car. The sides were not necessary. After dragging his broken body out to the backyard, I drove to the shed. Inside were black garbage bags, cinder blocks, and a hacksaw. After dismembering the man, I was able to fit both the remains and cinder block in the bag. Dropping him into the lake was all that was left to do. The following morning, I made sure to wake up at 6:45 a.m. Touched my doorknob 3 times before skipping the second to last step on my way to the kitchen. While eating my toast, scrambled eggs, and black coffee, I browsed the local news on my iPad. The top headline: Hit and run serial killer strikes again. I smiled. Back to normal.